Now, World War III is on the horizon, and it's approaching very fast. You have the U.S. and Russia. They come out and they say they're gonna make a pledge or a promise not to go into nuclear war. But see, this is Bible prophecy, and he said he was gonna put it into their hearts, and he said they would get to a point in them hearts and minds that everything would be at peace and everything would be secure. They would get to that point in their minds, and when they thinking in those terms or in that way, then sudden destruction would come upon them. And so the prophecy has been uh, explained by these theologians, uh, Christian pastors in America. They wrote in books about it. It's not something that's uh, just being pushed by uh, the true prophets, but this is something across the board. People can see nuclear war coming. Even people uh, who just deal with military and uh, deal with uh, political problems and political issues, they can see that nuclear war is coming. You see, so it's nothing just isolated to the so-called prophets of doom, the true prophets of the Lord. But we know through the scriptures uh, what it's talking about, and we know why it's happening. So let me get those verses. Now, World War III is not just about America and Russia going at it, but that's just gonna be uh, the beginning of the war that's gonna escalate into the war between man and God. And so when you look at Isaiah 34 verse 2, it says, "For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations. His fury is upon all their armies. He shall utterly destroy them. He has delivered them to the slaughter." So he's delivering these armies into battle, into war with each other. You see, look at Joel 3 and 2. He say, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, meaning up the valley of decision, right there in the Middle East, so-called Middle East that they created. It says, and will plead with them. So that plead go back to war. He's going to war with them. But first, he's going to gather them in that valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, let's go to Revelation 19 and 19. It say, and I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war. See, they're going to gather together first, and shots is going to be fired at each other. But then they're going to realize that it's going to be something bigger than them that they got to worry about. Because that's what the verse goes on to say. To make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. You see, because they going to, after they attack each other, they're going to fight the Lord. But let's confirm this attacking each other. Zechariah, the first chapter. Verse 19, it say, well, yeah, I can start, well, verse 18. Then lifted up, then I lift, then lifted I up my eyes and saw, and behold, 4 horns. So the 4 horns is one side. It says, and I saw And I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he answered me, these are the horns that were which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Verse 20, and the Lord showed me 4 carpenters. See, this is Russia. The 4 horns is America and Britain and their allies, just to be specific. And the 4 carpenters is Russia. 21, it say Russia and its allies. 21, it say, then said I, what come these to do? He spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man lifted up his head. But these are come to fray them. See, the 4 carpenters is coming to fray the 4 horns, America and whoever allies with America. It says to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, which lifted up their head or their horns over the land of Judah, to scatter it. Okay, so this is the war that's going to pop off. Now, when you go into Ezekiel 38, it specifically talks about Russia. It says in verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog and Gog. First of all, it says the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against it. That land over there is named after the children of Japhet. Japhet was in that land. So with Germany, Russia, and all of those, Ukraine and all of that area, that's what they call Gog and Magog, because it was first named after Japhet's children. But Japhet's children got moved out of there, and now you have the Russians. They living in that land. But to let it be known and let it be an easy thing to know that whoever's in that land, they're going to be warring with Britain and their allies, France and whoever allies with America. Then you got the Persians who certify who Meshach is and the chief prince is, because the Persians is allies with the Russians. You see? So the Persians is Iran. Iran is allies with the Russians and the Chinese. They're going to be the 4 carpenters that's going to free America and its allies. And that's going to be a nuclear war. They're not going to be doing too much fighting with ground soldiers. This is going to be a nuclear battle. And so, what else we got? We got, let's see here. Let's see. And when you consider Revelation 17, 16, and 17, America, which is Babylon the Great, they might not end up with no allies, because right here they had allies, and it says in verse 16, it say, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. See, that fire is nuclear fire. And these allies of America, or this whore, they are gonna switch up on her and start to hate her. See, they may join in with Russia and their allies, and they all gonna team up on America. And see, verse 17 say, for God has put it into their hearts to fulfill his will. See, he's putting into their hearts to switch up on America. They not gonna be totally in control of what's going on. He gonna take over at some point and get them to. He already taken over because they rejecting the dollar first of all. That's a great sign that it's game over for this whole Babylon the Great. Now, when you're talking about uh, these horns, um, or these allies turning against Babylon, um, and burning her with fire, you have let's see here. Let's get Revelation 18. See, they also are seeing the plagues hit this place. Look at verse 18. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. See, the plagues coming to this place because uh, that's why the dollar is being taken out of here, because they're not making money with this place. Because all the merchants of the world and all of these merchants of the other nations was making money with America, but it's not happening anymore. That's why I say in verse 11, the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her when she's gone, because they was making a lot of money with her. See, they right now they're making a lot of money with America, but it's getting to the point where they can see that America is falling fast and plagues is hitting America on a high level, and they gonna start to hate her as she's falling. And so the end result is famine is gonna hit this place, death and mourning, and then they're gonna let off their nuclear missiles. Now let's get this in Jeremiah, because Jeremiah talks about this place. It let's see, from 49, from Jeremiah 49, it gets to talking about uh, Babylon, and it runs into 50 and 51. So let's see here, 50 verse 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. See, all the allies in Russia is going to be coming against Babylon. And they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows or their nuclear missiles shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. You see, none shall return in vain. Look at verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, all of you that have nuclear missiles. Shoot at her, spare no arrows. Don't leave one nuclear missile sitting around. Let them all go, for she have sinned against the Lord. You see, and so this place is pretty much destined to be attacked by all other nations, especially on the nations on in the North Country, or above Africa, and where you got Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all these people, they're gonna be coming against Babylon, America. And so let's get the grand finale, with Jeremiah 25, thinking 31, 33. It said, no, you know what? Let's start at 30. Let's start at 30. Let's start at 31. It said, a Noah shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nation. And what that Noah is gonna be, he will plead with all flesh. That's what Joel said. He will give them that are wicked to the sword. saith the Lord. What kind of sword is this? 32. Thus says the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall rise up from the coast of the earth. See that noise and that sword and that great whirlwind, all that is describing the nuclear weapons. In verse 33 it says, and the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. See, from one end to the other. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. You see, this is how the Lord is going to come. And then when after America is being attacked, or while America is being attacked, Yahweh Shah, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, going to enter into the battle. And it says, for behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. 16. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. You see, this is how this nuclear war, that's going to be the climax of the nuclear war. Because he's going to gather up his elect, and they're going to come down and join his army. And it's going to be a complete takeover of this earth, and it's going to be go back into the hand of the children of Israel. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Yikar Kadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.